Imagine a world where your design clients are not shopping you because you have every single thing that they need. Let's talk it all through today on Design Sips. Welcome, I'm Sandra Funk, and today we're gonna raise a glass and think tank how your design firm can be filled with more joy, more abundance, and more balance. I cannot wait to start answering your questions. Cheers.
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 Alrighty, so our first question is from Nina. Nina says, what are the steps you take to avoid clients from shopping me? I do full service design and purchasing is part of my model.
Okay, Nina?
Yes.
Okay, Nina. Okay, so how to make sure that your clients are not shopping you is to be extremely frank and clear with them up front from the very beginning of your potential client process. We want to create an environment of complete transparency where you're very clear with them that your business model is based on both your design fees and all purchasing and execution going through your firm. Write that down. I'm going to say it one more time. My business model is based on both my design fees and all purchasing and execution going through my firm, right? That means that my livelihood, the money that I take home to my family, that this is a business for profit, right, is based on both of those things. And so let me walk you through a little further what purchasing and execution going through my firm means, okay? What that means is that I source and purchase to the trade only goods that I then turn around and sell to you. This gives you incredible access to goods that you couldn't get your hands on any other way but through an interior designer. This gives you access to custom goods, a variety, just the sky's the limit. I often will bring up High Point and the 1 million square feet of design showroom space that High Point is when I'm talking about what is available in the retail market for home furnishings is about this big. What is available in the to the trade custom market for home furnishings is a gabillion times more, right? And if you want your home to not look like the next catalog that's being delivered, then it is really important that you stick with me when it comes to custom to the trade goods that are uniquely created for your home and your aesthetic. So again, take what could be seen as a negative, that they can't do their own purchasing, and turn it into an incredible, valuable positive, that you are giving them access to a world that is completely off limits to retail customers and is custom to their own personal aesthetic. Make sense? Good luck.
Absolutely.
And cheers.
Cheers to that.
Mm-hmm.
So another strategy that you do is to avoid them shopping or nitpicking is pricing by room.
Yes, this is huge. So the nitty gritty of some of these strategies for not getting shopped really can be about how you structure your services. So not just the transparency and the conversation, like really open conversation about, like everyone agrees you're doing the purchasing with me, but also how you present. So I don't present item, right? I present a cohesive whole, a cohesive room or project or whole home, whatever that is. And when we present that from the style of presentation to the proposal, we are pricing by the room, not by the item. And that's not to say that I don't itemize ever. When we are in conceptual design, we do a line by line spreadsheet with exactly how we're going to get to this total budget, okay? I'm just gonna quick tangent back you up. When we are in the potential client process, we do a high level number on what we think this project is gonna cost, both design fees and furnishings, okay? We then take that number and we break it down. So we said this project was gonna cost $300,000. Now we break it down by room and by item. How are we getting to $300,000? We're gonna show them, we're gonna walk them through it. You know, a $15,000 rug, a $9,000 sofa, a $12,000 chandelier. This is a nice budget, this project, right? Anyway, we are gonna go through it line by line by line. Get their buy-in, get their sign-off one more time on that budget. First when they're a potential client, then in conceptual design. Then when we get to detailed design, we are still on budget. This is our responsibility. We set a budget at the beginning, we confirm it, and then we meet it, right? We never ever go over budget because we set that budget, so it's realistic. So in detailed design, we come in with a proposal that is by the room. So it says sofa, rug, chandelier, end tables, pillows. It says all the things, but there's one total, right? The total, 75,000, whatever, that's it. And if the client wants to say, wait a minute, can I see how that's broken down? We go right back to that spreadsheet from conceptual design. Here's the breakdown. Remember we signed off on this in conceptual design? This is exactly how we're gonna get to a $75,000 budget. And now here we are, we're at that budget. So always communicating. Never are you going to be allowed to get away with pricing by the room if you haven't set it up from the very beginning. That's one of those things that you can't spring on somebody. They have to be on board from the beginning.
Yeah, that's a great strategy,
Good
and
stuff.
one that our members really love to use too.
Yeah. Oh, they love this. This changes everything. But only if the client's on board. If they're caught even a little bit off guard or they've forgotten, then you do end up needing, you end up needing to itemize. But if they're 100% on board with this plan, you're good to go.
Mm-hmm. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
If you are liking what you're hearing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment what you're thinking.
Yeah, there's a lot more where this came from as far as design ideas and how to run a great design firm.
Another thing that you do, Sandra, is when you get to the detailed design phase, creating mood boards that really portray the entire room. So you're not giving them 5 options of chairs and that's like on a piece of paper on the other side of the room and then the sofa's on the other side of the room. Like, why is that so important to show cohesive design?
Yes. So again, I mentioned this before, but I design full, cohesive, complete spaces. And so what those don't look like is they don't look like, here are 3 sofas, 2 chairs, a coffee table or 2, a light fixture or 2, and like 500 paint colors that could work in this room, right? What that ends up being is color by number. And what happens when you design like that is that everything has to go with everything else. And so your designs end up being too vanilla. Right? It's too mix and match. I often will say if everything is the thing and everything is the star, you have the Bellagio and it's too much for day in and day out life, right? It might be fun walking through that lobby the first time you get to Vegas, but it is not fun on day 4. Vegas is a 3-day adventure. Day 4 and you're like, get me the hell out of here, right? Has anyone been there? Does anyone know that deal? Well, you don't want your house to be exhausting on the 4th day. That would be bad. You would get a lot of phone calls, right? Also, if everything is vanilla and everything is color by numbers and everything goes with everything, you live in a Pottery Barn catalog without the great styling that comes in the catalog, right? When you really look at that catalog, it is the same 700 SKUs over and over and over again with styling layered in, okay? Collect a few. Flip through them over the course of a few years. Same shit, different day, fresh flowers, right? Seriously. So don't do color by number vanilla design. That's boring, it won't get referred, and it certainly won't get published, right? You're not gonna make a big name for yourself with that. You have to explain to your client that great design is nuanced, it's carefully considered, and it doesn't leave room for 3 sofa options, 2 chair options, and 4 choices on the chandelier. You need one thing that is really a wow, and then you need something else that chills out, and then you need some texture over here. You need a pop of color over here. You need a little shimmer in this area. You need a little matte finish over here. You need something old. You need something new, right? Layers, nuance. That's what makes design gorgeous and exciting, noteworthy, referable, and photographable, and publishable, right? So you really, if you're gonna create art and not color by numbers, you need to present one cohesive design, all thought through, all jiving and looking beautiful together. And when we talk about this early on, the client says, oh, of course I don't want all those options. I don't want to be living in a Pottery Barn catalog. I want you to do your magic. I want the incredible art that is your portfolio to come to my house. And you have to explain to your clients how that happens. It does not happen by having a whole bunch of options and seeing things silo, 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 silo. It's seeing things as a cohesive whole.
Yeah, such a good tip.
Yay.
Awesome. Okay, so you set expectations, you did the mood boards, and you still have a client who sends a cheaper retail alternative to something you presented. What do you say in this circumstance?
So this is one of those things that has happened to me, and it's happened to the other designers in my world, and it happens, right? And so then I have to say to them really frankly, and I have a beautiful templated email of this inside the standard if you are so inclined. It's a wonderful group of templates that give you all these tools. But basically what I'm getting at is, of course you can take the 30-inch by 40-inch by 18 inches deep chest in this approximate tone, in this approximate style, and replace it. Because I have done all the work of showing you the scale, color, size, texture, feel, vibe of what this piece is supposed to be. But as we discussed when we started working together, my livelihood is tied to not only my design fees, but all furnishings and execution going through my firm. So while it's clear to you right now, because I've shown you what you need on that wall in this room, that doesn't mean that you get to go swap it for your closest, national catalog and swap that out. This is still a project that we've agreed we are working together on, and that my livelihood and my business model are based on all purchasing and execution going through my firm. And you have to just put on your big girl panties and stand in your space. And it is one of those things where the client goes, oh, of course, I wouldn't have known that that is exactly what I needed if you didn't show me. And then I happened to get this catalog in the mail and they happen to have exactly what I needed. And gosh, it seems like a great price. And I'm saying we are still on the budget we set together. Has anything changed financially since we set that budget together? Oh no. Okay, then I think we should move forward with our agreements intact, our business intact, and our budget intact. And it's really about calm and factual and just reminding of the agreements that you already put in place together with your work together.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, staying calm and having a little smile on your face, no aggression, no freak out, is really important.
And then there's the bigger picture, which we won't go too deep into today, but your ideal client doesn't want to shop for themselves either.
Correct. Do you not like how Sarah was trying to make sure I didn't go on a huge tangent right there?
Maybe
just
don't film a second episode.
Just like a little rope in right there. Okay. So yes, so your dream client, your absolute ideal client that you are putting all of your marketing out into the world for them, and they are coming through your potential client process, and you're looking for the flags, and you're having the really frank, beautiful conversations, right? They want you to do all the purchasing. They are busy, or they appreciate you, or I don't know why, because it's your ideal client, but my ideal client is too busy to take on purchasing. They are not necessarily skilled at interior design. They are an intensely skilled, high-level executive, business owner, rock star in some way, and they stay in their lane, and they completely and totally appreciate my lane, and that I stay in my lane. And so they are not likely to try to take purchasing off my hands because they have been carefully vetted to make sure that they are the kind of client that totally gets it, appreciates me, and needs me to do the purchasing, because they're just too damn busy being fabulous in their own life to even think about getting involved in that and following up on open orders and tracking it through and scheduling deliveries, right? They want me to handle it. So sometimes working with the right client is the first step to not getting shopped. The obvious and clear second step is setting up those expectations and boundaries around that, being extremely communicative and clear. And then third step is really making sure that you are selling an incredible cohesive design, not item, 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 item. And pitching it that way as well.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to all that. All right, guys, that's it. That's the end of Design Tips for this week. But we have an entire episode that goes way deeper into only working with your dream client. Check it out. I'll see you next time.